Hey everybody, welcome to the daily recap for March 22nd, 2022. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, guys, did do a recap yesterday because I was just down with the flu, so physically just couldn't do it at that point. But we're gonna get back to the daily recaps as we usually do. I haven't missed a day yet besides yesterday. Now, March 22nd, today, good day. Market obviously got a nice push to the upside, rally pretty much the entire day. We were leaning bullish out the gate, looking for continuation higher. Basically, I was looking at the high PE tech, looking at small caps. And that ended up being the right place to be. We're also looking at China names because we did get a nice gap up based off of that BABA news. We tried to trade some BABA, which didn't end up really working. It didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of stayed flat the entire day. But there were some other ones that did work out nicely, so we'll talk about that. So today, what did we do? We did a couple different things. On the equity side, we'll start there first. We did Tesla long at 930s this morning. We played that for about 6-7 points to the upside. Got out of it, then got back in at 935 on the flag, rode that up the entire day, basically to the end of the day. We also had some Tesla 1050 calls on, which are up over a couple 100%, as well as we did actually swing Tesla. So if you're from the swing room, which I don't talk about in the daily recaps, but I will talk about it today because it was an awesome trade. When it did trade down to the 765 level, we took $1,000 calls a couple days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, and we took them at $6. They're at like $60 right now, so they can get in the money. They probably will go up 1,000% at this point, but really nice trade. And yeah, we're holding that Tesla roll overnight for continuation. We took UPST this morning. Webbush came out with a downgrade on it. Webbush is a garbage firm in my opinion. And yeah, we saw it get bought back up. We grabbed it at 116.70. We got a nice push into the 130s on that. So that was a nice little trade there. Zim on the ex-dividend, we grabbed it out the gate at 74.42, rolled that up for a couple points, 3 points to the upside, and then ended up just getting out of the rest of that at the end of the day there. It's a good little trade. Real cool, we tried this out the gate. This one didn't end up working. We should have got back into it, but my stop was a little bit too tight at 119s. Stopped us out, and then it ended up pushing to the upside. NVIDIA, we're in this long, played this into the 270 level, which was okay. Not a bad little trade there. CYRN long, did this on the equity side. Out the gate, we played that first pop and then stopped out the rest of the entry. We had that at 835. We had IRNT long. We tried the starter on this at 450. We ended up just exiting it on this little weakness, and then obviously got to push back to the upside. So a little bit of a loss on that one. Octa, we actually shorted this on the morning pop. So pop to the upside, we shorted it back down here for about 4 points to the downside. It was a good trade for a basically morning scalp. We played some BABA on the equity side long this morning. Then ended up rolling into some calls, which 125s, which didn't end up doing anything. So I mean, it was a roll, but whatever. We took some BA long from 188 area, and we rolled that up basically the entire day. Ended up rolling into some 200 calls. PayPal, we had some 120 calls on this, which ended up working quite nicely. Obviously from this morning, got a nice little pop, almost putting those in the money today. We had some BKKT long, and if you follow me on Twitter, you would have saw that. Took some of that long at 645. We almost got a point on it, 90 cents to the upside. So not a bad trade. We tried a little bit of win today, 81.14. This one didn't end up working, ended up basically getting stopped out pretty quickly out the gate. Triple L. Scalp on this one into the 674 level, and we were looking for 70.91, but it was a good little scalp, not bad at all. We tried a little bit of LITM long, which didn't end up doing anything. Ended up just getting out of that trade. SE, we took this long at 120.48, rolled that up the entire day, which was a good trade. We took some snow long at 217.65, rolled that up the entire day, ended up rolling that into higher striked options. And then what else did we do? Just scrolling down here, guys. So a couple different trades. We tried some dash long at 110.08 at the end of the day on the flag. A couple points, 2.5, 2.8 to the upside. We took some cost long at 8.07. And obviously we played that to 980. Again, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have saw that tweeted out. And other than that, a pretty good day. One of the other names that we had overnight, guys, was Sopa Spec Play long from 272. And obviously we got 455 on it. Ended up selling most of it at 440, 425, and then stopped out the rest. Actually, not stopped out the rest. We have the rest of our stops at $3 right now. So good little trade there. But overall, on the hit rate on the equity side are really good. On the option side, we do have this high conviction channel, and usually it's options and equities. It's usually a couple trades a day, but 100% hit rate on the high equity, the high conviction trade. We typically have really high hit rates here because I only go after extremely high probability trades, I think, and usually 1 or 2 trades a day. And this section's for growing small accounts, but you can see that we did well there. And then obviously on Friday we got like 1,000% trade in the high conviction area, which if you do have a small account, I mean, hitting a trade like that is pretty huge for growth. On the option side though, guys, a couple different things that we did do. We had some shop 750 calls, which worked out really nice. We ended up selling some 775s against it for a 10-cent credit, so it's a free trade now. We had mRNA long, which worked out nicely. We tried some FSR long, which worked out okay, popped up, but at the end of the day, like 25, 30%. So not a bad trade there. We rolled some BA, like I said, the 200s, which we're still holding. We had the Tesla roll, which worked out nicely. The UPS T roll, which we ended up just exiting at the end of the day. A couple names from this morning: Apple 170 calls for over 100%. Facebook for about 200% on the 120, or so the 220s on that. We tried a little bit of Netflix. We ended up just getting out of that one at the end of the day because it didn't really move anywhere for a little bit of a loss. We have the snow roll on still. LMND, which went up 50% to 30 calls. Decent little trade there. We had some Zoom 125s, which went up, 20-30%. Nothing huge, but again, not a bad little trade there. Sorry about that. Other than that, a couple things else. We had the PayPal 120s. I talked about those. We had Kodak for 50% to the upside. The 7 calls, not a huge move on that, but take what you can get, I guess. And then other than that, I mean, it was just a couple scalps here and there. We had a scalp on MU. Scalp on Wells Fargo, and then there's Coop trade, which worked out okay. Scalp on that. Starbucks scalp, which worked out okay. We're swinging the Coops. The 110s are what we have on that. And then AMD 120s, which ended up not doing anything today. And then like I said, BABA, we had these. They went up about 30-40% on the roll, and then basically just kind of stayed flat the entire day. Overall, on the option side, some really decent trades, and then the stuff that didn't work wasn't like a huge failures. It was like you just get out of it because it was not pushing to the upside and kind of just stayed flat. It was one of those days where it's easy to trade, very forgiving on the option side. On the equity side, when things didn't work, very forgiving. Obviously, hit rate on the equity side a little bit higher than the options, but all in all, really good day. Members did quite well as well, which is great to see. And yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Overall, the market, guys, tad bit extended on the SPY, but nothing major. I don't think it's going to be causing a huge pullback unless we get news coming out. I think JPOW does speak tomorrow in the morning, which could cause, some sort of movement in the market, of course. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. That's it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, we are doing as we do every single Wednesday, the pre-market stream that is open up to the public from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to come join us for that. Otherwise, we do stream from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day in live chat, 24/7 on Discord for both Swing and Live. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, SpartanTrading.com. Have a good one, guys.